Coming up on the Joe Rossano Show. Do what you love. You will love yourself for it. Right now, what I'm doing, sitting right here, is what I love. What I tell my daughter, what I tell anybody I love. Do what you love. You'll never work a day in your life if you do. Are you ready for facts? Unfiltered, unbiased, uncensored. The Joe Rossano Show is next. Welcome to the Joe Rossano Show. Hi, I am Joe Rossano, where we deal with facts. We don't do fake news. We don't do conspiracies. Let's rock. Silenced. I had a podcast, and it wasn't even called a podcast then. I had a broadcast on YouTube, Facebook, etc. in 2016. This is before the word podcast was popular. There was no Joe Rogans, no Nick Fuentes, no Candace Owens, none of them. None of them. I was a trailblazer, and I got silenced. And I'm going to tell you how. Now, I worked for a large firm. Now, we're going to say some nice stuff, because I am an independent, I am a traditionalist. You get the facts here on the Joe Rossano Show. You get the facts. They pay you good money, a large firm, well over six figures. I did. I made well over $100,000 a year working from home, in some cases in a pair of joggers. Really did. Worked my butt off. And the reason I'm not going to mention this firm, and anybody who knows where I work, well, then you do, is because I do not believe in punishing the innocent. And at the firm I used to work at, there is some innocent there and some innocent that's no longer there. Now, your pal Joe Rossano here is quasi-retired. But let me tell you something that happened at my firm where I used to work. They got doged. Reduction in force. My bosses, all kinds of people. They're 15, 20, 25 years. Bang. Gone. Making 225 grand. Gone. Gone. Now, let me get back to the silenced thing. You know, when you work at a large firm, at least this large firm, not going to mention the name of this firm, although I'm dying to. But I'm going to tell you exactly what they did. And if their legal department has a question, joe@joerossano.com, I'm around. Okay, I think you got my contact information on file. Come and get me. Or if anybody from that firm wants to come on here and debate that, we'll debate that. So we're going to start here. That firm, I don't want to say primarily, but half of the people at that firm are on the far left. The far left. There is no question about that. The far left. They would tell us we can't say lead. We got to say guide. That type of place. And they made us agree about our social media. Like, we got to watch what we say on social media or they'll take that six-figure salary away from you. Shame on me. Shame on me. But here's where I'm going to ask for forgiveness from that audience, because I had a pretty good audience. I had to make a living, guys. I had to make a living. I really did. Turning down well over, it's not 100,000, well over $100,000 a year to work from home. The benefits were good there. A lot of people that worked there were just wonderful folks. There was bad there, but there was also good. And if you're watching, you know who you are, and I miss you dearly. But again, that firm was ran by the far left. What you can and cannot say. If you sneeze the wrong way, HR came to get you. And matter of fact, they tried to send HR to me once, saying that I said something that I didn't say, by the way. So I want to make that clear. But people were just very sensitive, and people at this firm feared for their jobs. They feared for their jobs. They saluted there, figuratively speaking, because they were afraid they were going to get fired. Seriously, I have never seen a bunch of scared people in my life than at this place. And I got to tell you, folks, it drives you crazy. A person like me. Now, I wasn't a vice president because I didn't smooch the butt. And you know what? I don't regret it. I didn't. And there were people there like, great job. Teamwork makes the dream work. I just can't say that kind of stuff. That's just not me. It's not going to be me. And it wasn't me. 50% of the people that worked at that firm voted for Donald Trump. Pause. I wish I could take his mic off and drop it right now. Silenced. Silenced. And shame on you for doing that to him. Now we're going to get into some of the bad stuff there. Really bad stuff. Folks got intimidated. They intimidated you. If you had something to say, your boss would say, make sure, you don't say that in this venue. Make sure you know where you are when you say this. That's code for shut up. That's code for shut up. If somebody there was a manager, you had to shut up. Somebody was a general manager, you really had to shut up. Anyone above the general managers, when you get into the vice presidential level, you must shut up right this second or suffer the consequences. And anybody who's watching, don't act like I don't know what I'm talking about. Come on. Come on here. I'll bring you on camera right now. Give me a call. Come on here. I'll debate this with you right now because you know darn well what I'm talking about. The first 2 days I was there, my office mate, when I worked in office, I was typing an email and my office mate said, oh, no, don't, just like this, don't type that. That's a manager. Don't type that. Getting back to, again, the silence thing, anything I would have said. I don't like Donald Trump. I do like Donald Trump. Hillary Clinton this or anything. Barack Obama that, done. Done. Believe me, they would have come to get me and fired me. So I had to stop doing the Joe Rossano show. And I will forever say this. Shame on me. Shame on me for doing that. Anybody who has been watching now and listening to me now, I gave credit where credit was due. I had some managers that I loved, and I'm using the word loved. I had some coworkers. I miss them right now. I really do. And I keep in touch with now that none of us work there anymore. Again, I'm quasi-retired, but, a lot of people lost their jobs because of Doge. A lot of people were victim, and I'm going to say victim, impacted, as they say. They're impacted by the reduction in force, the RIF. But the funny thing is the people that were handing down the RIF, that were calling people and saying, hey, we got to let you go. Your position's been eliminated. Their position got eliminated. And I got to tell you, that gives me a bit of a warm and fuzzy. And I'm so ashamed sometimes because I sold out. I really did. And I wonder because people would tell me all the time, hey, Joe, you got in early. Who would I be right now? Who would I be? Where would I be? What would I be? Sirius XM, my own show on a major network somewhere, contributor? It's possible. I mean, it really is. I talk funny. A lot of people say that, okay? And they don't say it in a mean way, but it's distinctive. I have a distinctive voice. I'm a good communicator. For a guy my age, I know guys that look worse. And I'm going to tell everyone this. Do what you love. Go broke. Seriously, just be broke. You will be happier broke than make a lot of money and be miserable. When I was, and I could say that, I was miserable. That job was putting me in the graveyard. It really was. Absolute high stress every single miserable minute of every single miserable day. Now, again, I like to do the good stuff because I don't trash stuff. I don't like doing that. And I don't like people do it to me. Again, money was good. Benefits were good. The 401k stuff was good. The vacation time was good. If your dog passed away, they gave you the day off and they all sent you emails. A lot of good, but also a lot of bad. And the bad was you lost your individuality. You really did. if you didn't act a certain way or say things a certain way, you were cast out. You were a pariah, and you had a better chance of hitting the lotto than getting promoted. Really, because at this particular firm, there was no set, hey, look, you do this and you're promoted. No, it just, if they happen to think you're all right, they'll promote you. But again, there are people who outperformed others, who did better than others and didn't get promoted, and people who didn't do that well got promoted. And I guess that goes on everywhere. But I sometimes just beat myself up like I am now. And I should, because I let it happen. Part of me forgives myself. What was I going to do? You live outside, not eat, let my wife support everybody every day? No, that's not right. That's not right. I'm quasi-retired now. My wife still works, and I feel bad. But again, I just really disappointed in myself sometimes that I allowed them to silence me. And it's not their fault. It's mine. I will always blame myself because I'm not trying to hurt anybody, and I'm not trying to hurt the firm. The firm. If you could just hear people where I used to work, the firm, we have to work with the firm. I haven't even mentioned the firm's name. So I'm not scared. Come and get me. Come and get me. Then that's going to give me my excuse to mention names then. And I'm talking about individual names who did some pretty bad stuff. So anytime that if I so much as get an email from you folks, it's game on air. And I got a lot of people who listen and watch. Don't ever let your job run your life ever again, because it's all fake. Your work family, they're not your family. Your husband's your family. Your wife is your family. Your partner's your family. Your kids are your family. Your parents are your family. The people that you work with, they're not your family. When you have a death in the family and you have to take a few days off and they reach out to you and say, is there anything I can do? That's code for cry faster. It really is. You have just become a nuisance to them now. You really have. You are a big, fat nuisance. They want you to get back and do your job as fast as you can, more and quickly. That's what, is there anything I can do? Means cry quicker. Means get back here quicker. I'm sick. Don't worry about working today. Take a couple of days off. And they did say that stuff, but that was code. It was code for get well quicker and get back here and make the money. It's exactly what they meant. I want to do a public service announcement here to conclude before I start my rant of the day. Do what you love. You will love yourself for it. Right now, what I'm doing, sitting right here, is what I love. Doing what I love. But again, the electric company wants their money. The bank wants the money. Your mortgage company wants the money. So take your pick. But what I tell my daughter, do what you love. What I tell anybody I love, do what you love. You'll never work a day in your life if you do. And again, don't let money, like I did, get in the way of doing what you love. And I really mean that. It's time for the jar. So 1 second, guys. Let me grab the old jar here. And I'm going to read some of your questions, some of your comments right here on air. And I'm going to answer some of them. So stay tuned. The jar. Now, again, this here jar, not my idea, but it was a very good idea. I really like it. So basically, what is the jar? The jar is questions that you send me via email or some of your comments or even some text messages that some of you send me. I put them right here in the jar and I read them and I answer them. So I'm going to do that right now. So let me reach into the old jar here, see what I got. And it's random. So, I read them, but then I throw them in here and then, I'll grab them and read them. So let us take a look here. Mitch from Pennsylvania. I like your divorce episode. I thought it was really funny. And yes, there are people out there who play the victim, but then you find out they're cheating on you. And even in some cases with your friends. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. But it's true. It's not really. tell the story that I told in the Divorce Disasters episode 2, and that's youtube.com/at the Joe Rossano show. You want to check that one out. It's Divorce Disaster. It's pretty funny. It's true, but funny. There are people who will say, he cheated on me. She cheated on me. She treated me bad. Blah, blah. They don't tell you about the 5 people they were hooking up with on the side. They don't tell you about a dating profile that they have where they're using their high school picture or 15 filters and a 50-year-old says they're 38. See, they don't tell you that. So as far as the divorce disasters, how do I know so much being married? Because all of my friends, and I regret to say, are divorced. So there's nothing I haven't seen. I've seen what they do. I really got to tell you that. I see what they do. So don't do that. Let's grab another one out of the jar here. I'm trying to grab here at random, so I'll look away. My hometown. These I like. These I like. Colleen from Baltimore. Hey, Colleen, say hi to all the folks back in Baltimore. I live in South Carolina, by the way, but I'm from Maryland, from Baltimore, and I miss everyone, by the way. So Colleen wants to know: did Charlie Kirk die for real? Question mark. Or is he still alive? He's not still alive. Mr. Kirk is deceased. When we deal with facts here on the Joe Rossano show, which is exactly what we do, my most recent episode is We Don't Know 2.0, and where I claim, due to all the conspiracies out there, that everybody got blamed for this, for the exception of the Easter Bunny. Really. They are blaming everybody for TPUSA. It was an inside job. They even involved his wife now. They've involved everybody in this Charlie Kirk assassination conspiracy. And I'm not saying they're wrong, because there's some suspicious stuff going on there. The bullet, the 30-06, which would knock a moose over or go through the moose, 2 walls, and into somebody's windshield. Anybody that ever has firearm experience knows that a little more 9mm-ish to me. But again, now you just don't know. I call the Charlie Kirk unedited video the bloody video. That's just what I call it, because I am one of those who is absolutely and positively very sorry that Mr. Kirk was assassinated. And I've prayed for Mr. Kirk. I prayed for his family. That was a tragedy and it was awful. But I always got to get back to, I can't prove, and I'm using the word prove, any of these conspiracies. I just can't do it. And I'm not going to report that here ever until I have the facts. Next, Andrew. Is that Andy or Andrew? I have my reading glasses on. That'll teach me. Andrew from Tennessee. Hey, say hi to everybody from Tennessee for me there, Andrew. We really appreciate you. Do folks get judged even more so now than they did? Or do you think you're just older and that's just what you think? Wow. No, I'm going to give examples. The answer is no. Judging is way worse now than it ever was. And I can speak to that because I am a couple of years older. I did run around the 80s and 90s. So yeah, I think I can. People do judge others worse now than they used to. Ran into Thomas Nicholas a couple of weeks back at the Edgar Allan Poe Speakeasy. Thomas, if you're watching, how you doing? It was great to see you. Do you really think American Pie would be released right now? Think about Thomas Nicholas' character. Kevin gets on top of a chair, makes a pact to lose their virginity before prom. Do you have any idea how masculine that sounds? So yes, judging is way worse now. American Pie coming out now. Can you imagine Jim filming a woman who doesn't know she's being filmed, taking off her clothes and pleasuring herself for the whole school to see? Everybody over 18 is in handcuffs over something like that. Everybody. So yeah, judging is way worse now than it ever was. So Rossano's rant of the day. Tattletales and butt kissers. Fee fi fo fisser. Man, can I not stand a butt kisser. Before I begin this rant, please subscribe, click the notification bell. It's my understanding that stuff really, really helps. And it's my understanding that, like, a lot of people watch because I see the views. You got 1,700 views and 2 people subscribe. Please take a moment right down here, click that subscribe button for your pal Joe Rossano. I really appreciate it. I'm not saying you got to make a freaking donation, but if you could hit the subscribe button, share that type of thing on your social media, I'll say your name. I'll come out and say your name and thank you for it. Type of guy I am. I also want you to send some suggestions to Joe at joerossano.com. That is Joe at joerossano.com. Tell me, give me some suggestions of some future shows, some things you'd like to hear about. I will put that in the jar right here. This is my jar. And I'll read it right here on the air. Back to my rant. Anybody who's ever worked at a company, especially a large company, a large firm, crybabies and tattletales and butt kissers. That is what I experienced the last decade of my career. And I'm not talking about a 21-year-old goes and tells the boss. I'm talking about like 45-year-olds, men. The smallest thing, they go tell the boss. Or somebody would send you an email and CC your boss. Like you need a watchdog, like you're 5 years old. And I couldn't stand that. I was kind of like Leonidas, and they were kind of like Xerxes. And they would say, look, you can have this if you will just bow before me. If you will just bend your knee. And I never bent my knee. You know why I never bent my knee? When you bend your knees, you end up on both of them. And, I have a little knee problem from my days from soccer. So bending, yeah, going to be a bit of a problem. Now that I am proud of. I never bent my knee. I never kissed any butts, and I never ratted on anybody. And I'm telling you, last 10 years of my career, companies I worked for, rats, tattletales, butt kissers, this whole teamwork makes the dream work drove me nuts. No, teamwork makes the stockholders a lot of money. And they would turn the employees into rats. You see anything, let us know. There'd be trainings on it. Like we were their police force. Hey, do your own investigating. I'm trying to do a job here. I don't have time to rat on somebody. Rats. So I'm an Italian, so I use that term rat. Snitches. Bunch of snitches. My God. And again, anybody that worked any place I did over the last decade wants to come on here and debate? No, you won't. You'll never do it because it's true. Nothing worse to me than a butt kisser. I would rather just stay in the type of job I had, never get promoted in my life than say teamwork makes the dream work because somebody thinks I should have. Yeah, they want me to kiss butt. Yeah, you can kiss mine. This is exactly what I told you guys. I got to tell you, that's the one thing I'm so proud of. I was like Maverick. I was like Pete Mitchell when I was in the job force. I was a captain. I never got to be a 2-star admiral or a senator, but hey, occasionally I would take a girl on a joyride in an F-18. I would date the admiral's daughters. Once again, thanks for tuning into the Joe Rossano Show, where we deal with facts. Don't do conspiracies. We don't do the fake news stuff. Again, please subscribe. Click the notification bell, like, share, and comment. Okay, comment. Put them right here in the jar. And also let me know so far as any future shows. If you have suggestions, hey, Joe, I'd like to see you cover this. I'd love to hear from you. Once again, Joe at joerossano.com. Once again, God bless you, my dearest friends and fellow Americans. Adopt a pet. We'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell for all the latest episodes of The Joe Rossano Show.